Now, Christy Hemme, you have your background though, a lot of modeling, a lot of things you did on TV, but you were an athletic girl when you were younger? Is that true?
I was more into extreme sports, motorcycle riding,
dirt bike,
snowboarding. I grew up on dirt bikes and snowboarding. I was very passionate about snowboarding. Every weekend I was at the mountain, and yeah, I was more into that kind of stuff. And I did cheerleading for a couple years only because I wanted to be on the top of the stunts where they throw you up in the air. And,
the flyer.
Yeah, I was like, I want to do that. So.
Because that's like an extreme sport, being thrown up in the air like that.
But traditional sports, I was never interested in traditional sports.
Yeah, but the extreme sports are tough too.
Oh yeah,
I mean you gotta get in there. You gotta have guts to go on that.
I like motors, and I like anything that makes you go really fast.
Being that you had that type of attitude inside, how much did that help you when you got into this?
I mean, it's the same thing, like, you know, and that's why I stopped wrestling, was because I've always been fearless, and when I'm going off the top rope, I don't think about how it's going to hurt. I think about how I'm going to land. I think about my excitement. I think about, you know, all these things. And when I hurt my neck and I had healed naturally, and I think it took me 9 months to heal. When I came back, my first match back, and I had to do some big bump, and I cringed, and I was... That fearlessness is gone, and I was like, the minute you lose that, the minute your edge is gone, you are done, because you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, it's just, you have to be fearless. If you're gonna do a sport or do something like that, you cannot be thinking about how you're gonna hurt yourself.
No, it'll affect you and your opponent
for sure.
As well.
I mean, you're putting them in danger as well. You're right.
Question I wanted to ask you too. You were a big fan of the Undertaker growing up and all.
Well, he was a Harley guy, tattoos. I mean, I grew up going to Harley rallies, and as a dancer, that's what we traveled to Harley rallies. We opened up for bands at biker events. So, big Undertaker fan.
Kaz is a big motorcycle guy.
Oh
here.
yeah, and Kaz is one of my dear friends. I love him, and Tracy Brooks. Yeah. So
you ever get any motorcycle talk with them or not?
All the time, yeah. He talks about his bike, I talk about my bike. We're like, you know, and he's a music guy, so.
Oh. And another thing that you did, you were in a Trace Atkins video, and you also did Playboy. And I was reading this, I thought it was interesting that you had to sort of get approval from Dad to do Playboy, and just take us to there. What was that like, and just having to tell your dad and saying, oh, is he going to say yes or no?
Well, when I first started modeling, that was my dad's one condition, because I was 16 at the time. And he said, as long as you promise you'll never pose nude. I said, I promise, Dad, I promise. So when Playboy came to me and said they wanted me to do it, I was like, I'm going to have to ask my dad first. If he says no, answer's no. So I asked my dad, and he said, you know, you're old enough now. At the time I was 23, and he's like, if you feel like this is something that you want to do for your career and it's good, then I give you my blessing.
Last question for you. Do you ever think you'll wrestle again?
No. And I am the biggest fan, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I am cheering with the best of them. However, it's once that happened in that match, I know that I just can feel I won't get it back. And I've always been that way. Like, when I was done with dancing, I was done. When I was done with modeling, I was done. Like, when I do something and I feel like I've completed the urge to do it, I never really have that urge to go back. I mean, you never say never to anything on this planet. However, I don't really see it in my foreseeable future.
Facebook, Twitter, do you have anything like that?
I have Twitter, Hemme Powered, but Facebook, I have one. However, you'll never get a response from me because I'm never on it.
So Twitter is the best way for fans to interact and all. All right, Christy, thank you so much.
Thank you.